Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this special edition of CACR Coaching with Coach Susan. My name is Susan Dentino, and I have come to you this evening because we're going to do a little bit of Q&A. Every Saturday for the past few weeks at 12 noon, I've been doing a series of coaching classes, and what we're going to do this evening is we're going to get some of your questions answered. So first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Susan Dentino, and I do work in the metaphysical field. I do readings. I have just about every certification that Doreen Virtue offers. I'm also a published author by Hay House. I have a book out that's called Songs of My Life, Slightly Out of Tune. And as the name suggests, it's a humorous approach to all the lessons that I've learned in life. I do readings, and all of my services are available on my website, which is my name, Susan Dentino. That's DINTINO.com. So what we're going to do tonight is a little bit of review of what we've covered so far, and hopefully we'll get some questions answered that you've been looking to figure out. I did have a post up on the page, and I really didn't thus far see that many questions. So I'll keep my eye out as we proceed and maybe answer some general questions, because I know, again, people aren't used to me being on. It's 8:30 here on the Eastern Seaboard, so I know probably for Pacific 5:30 might be dinner time, but this is something you can always catch on the YouTube station as well. So if you are tuning in, welcome, and please feel free to post a question. Again, I'm not doing readings. These would be CACR specific questions. So just post your question and I will be checking it. So one of the questions I wanted to make sure I got to was, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Josepha had posted under my post and said something about she's really been working very hard to get her fan page likes up, and she was asking me for some advice as to how to do that. Well, believe me, there's many people out there that are looking for answers for that. One of the things that I have learned is that the more people that you can get to share one of your posts, the better, because Facebook is very specific as to who sees your posts, and it's not always the 1,000 friends you have. And I found recently, since I've been really working on this myself, that they are even less likely to show something that comes from your fan page. So let me just tell you one of the tricks I've learned. Whenever I do a meme or I'm doing a post of any kind, the first thing I do is I post it on my fan page. And then what I do is I share it. There's a little drop down box which will show you the little pictures of the pages that you represent. So for instance, my fan page has got a little picture of me with my book as the backdrop. My friend page has got a picture of me and my husband. So what I'll do is you use the little drop down menu when it says share, and I find that's not available on the app. You have to go to the website. So you've got your post up, you go to where you've got that little arrow where it says share, and where you've got that little arrow where your little face is for your fan page, and what you do is you click on there and you get your drop down menu. Then when you go to share, what I do is I select the little picture of my friend page, okay? I click on that, and then what happens is that I will be sharing my meme directly to my friend page. Now, because I'm doing it from my fan page, I'm still getting the credit for it, so I'm going to be driving people to go to that page to like me, but now it's showing up on my friend page, and what I find is that it gets out to more people being on my friend page than it does on my fan page. And again, because strictly speaking, you're not promoting a business from your friend page, you're just sharing it, you shouldn't run into any problems with Facebook. Getting likes is really something that can take some time. And one of the things I advise too is you can invite your friends to like your page. So every once in a while I'll go through my friends list and I will just send out a bunch of invites and ask them to come on along and like my page. And some of them are really good friends and they've just never never got around to doing it. And what's interesting is when you go to do that, it will show you if you've invited the person before or if the person has already liked your page. So you're not sending out repeat things. So these are the tricks that you can do. Also, if you can get your friends to share your post, the more people, maybe talk about 5 or 10 friends, tell them you're putting up a meme, ask them if they will please share your meme. As soon as they see you, they see that fan page and they see something that they like, they'll stop over at your fan page and they'll click that like button. One of the things also that I found is that when somebody reached out to me and wanted to be a friend, and again, as I have said before, I don't use my friend page for real personal things. So my friend page really, I welcome everybody. So when somebody reaches out to me to be a friend, what I'll do is I'll go onto their page and I will send a little invite and I'll say, I'm really happy to be your Facebook friend. I will copy the link from my fan page and I'll put it right in the little hello to them and say, I would really appreciate it if you would visit my fan page and like me. Or I would say, I invite you to visit my fan page and like me. This way, every time you are welcoming in a new friend to your Facebook community, you're giving them an invitation to like your fan page. So these are just a few tricks that you can use. I know that it's a steady uphill climb to get that. I've used some of those things, the boosts things, and in all honesty, like now I will admit I haven't paid a ton of money, but in all honesty, I haven't seen huge increases in my likes. The other thing I want to tell you, and I have noticed this, you'll be working towards getting more likes, and then all of a sudden your like page, your likes will go down, and it's like, oh my gosh. And I really noticed that when all of a sudden I'm getting a slew of likes on my page, and then I'll see, okay, so it was like, I don't know what I'm up to now, but just say it was like, it was at 1444 and I was watching that number. And then I go on the next day and it's down to 1433 and I'm going, oh my gosh, what happened? And the first few times that happened, I went crazy. I mean, I'm Googling it. I'm thinking, how could these people be going to such trouble to unlike me? Are people really doing it? Did I say something that offends them? But what Facebook will do, and I think especially when all of a sudden you've got a lot of people that are coming to your page and like it, it's they do some kind of cleaning house, and I don't know what they base it on, but all of a sudden you'll lose likes. So just ignore it and just go, you know, kind of just realize that it's just one of those things. I think another part of your question was about generating income from this, and I think one of the things that you can do is the little mini readings from your fan page, and then just encourage people, if they would like more information, to go to your website or wherever it is that you provide your reading services, so that you're really pushing them to get to a point where you're going to be getting paid for it. Again, I've noticed this doing these mini readings on my radio show and things like that, that especially on the radio show, I don't usually get, you know, people coming. Usually they're satisfied with their mini readings and that's it, which is fine, you know, because I enjoy doing it. But it's all got to be about just building a business like any other business. And again, this is a building a trust more than anything as you're doing this. So let me see. Okay, now I am just saying that I am just answering CACR questions. I'm not getting into readings at all. So just an FYI with that. So I appreciate you posting. I just did my new moon. I did mini readings at that, and I also do mini readings on my radio show. But this to me is all about you. All right, okay, so I think, all right, let's see. Yeah, okay. All right, I see we've got a lot of people, seems like pushing for readings here. Okay, let me just recap. I would love to be able to do these mini readings for you, but that's not really what my position is here on the CACR page. I will tell you I have very affordable readings available on my website, and if you would like free mini readings, I invite you to stop into my chat room from the night shift with Susan Dentino, and I do free readings during my show. Also, I just got off of Facebook Live New Moon broadcast where I did readings. I really want this to be about you and building your business and any of the questions that you might have had over these past few episodes that we've been talking. So if you have a question like that, I'd really like to hear. And I've got a lot of people joining me, Valerie and Crystal, hi, and Jessica. I always feel, this is probably really dating me when I do this, that there was a show on called Romper Room, and it was like a preschool show, and the woman would look at this mirror and look through this mirror and say hello to all these people, which that was a kid show when I was a kid, so it was quite a while ago. Hello from New Jersey. Hi, Kim. I want to say Norema, I hope I'm pronouncing that. Hey, Hector, Teresa. Okay, Rima, Anita, wow, Tasmania, Australia. Wow. Okay, I'm seeing again. Any questions you have for me that concerns your CACR business? So I would really... Okay, here's Geraldine. I wanted to ask your opinion on registering your website and the protected rights issue, please and thank you. Okay, yeah, you know, again, this gets into all the technicalities involved with doing your website. And with this whole protected rights and keeping everything copyrighted, I would strongly suggest, yes, that you register your website. You want to make sure that everything is the way it should be, and that especially if it's something that in the future could possibly really take off, which is what we're shooting for, you want to make sure that your website is registered and everything is exactly the way it should be. So I'm a big proponent, as far as this goes, that more... You know, more is more, not less is more, more is more. So whatever you can do to protect your website, I highly recommend you do it. And this brings up one of the questions that came up in the last session, because we talked about websites, about an average cost. I really researched this, and I'll tell you, the costs vary depending on who it is you use, and they can run into quite a bit of money. The most affordable thing to do is to build your own. That being said, what I would strongly suggest you do is, just like you would do anything that's important to you, get estimates from different people. If you see a website that you like, and now Geraldine bringing up these protected rights, look for the copyright. There'll always be a copyright on the website, and it will tell you who did that. Then what you could do is reach out to those people and mention the website you saw. I saw Susan Dentino's website. I loved it. Could you please give me a price? Then what would happen is the gentleman who works with me would get back to you and see how complex you want to make this website. What is it that you want? My website now, it has been a work in progress for years. It was not as complex as it is now, believe me. I started very simply, as I explained in the last CACR class that we did, that, you know, I lost my first website out of ignorance. It was my children's book, and, you know, I worked with this guy, and he was very affordable, and he was new in the business, and we, you know, we were able to just work it out. So again, protect yourself in every way that you can, and yes, I definitely believe in the protected rights. Okay, let's see. One of the things too, the magic mirror. Yep, Kathy, you're right. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Saying hi to all of these people, Lou and Debbie and Valerie and Robin, Chelsea, Jennifer, Pamela, Tanya, hi, Angela. One of the things that I will say, and again, getting in because I'm seeing all these people wondering if they're on the right path, Oh, Angel, romper room was the best. Wow. Aloha, Lori. Hi, Tanya, Monica. Okay, I'll take your question. You know, one of the things I want to say, for those of you that seem like you're having a really challenging time right now, wondering if you're on the right path, wondering if how many courses you should take and what's the right way to do. First of all, this new moon energy, which I just talked about, is in Taurus, and it's really inviting us to embrace the joy in our lives. It's also inviting us to let go and not overthink things. Because of the planets that are in retrograde right now, we're under some really intense pressure. So don't get discouraged if you're feeling like everything isn't clicking, because what's going on now planetarily is influencing how you feel. Remember how empathic you are. Remember, this is the work that you do. So feeling like the bottom is falling out is not unusual. And one thing I will say is that I'm really finding, and I emphasize that in the class that I just did, the little Facebook Live, it's so important to ground right now. Grounding is very important. Hematite, great crystal to use for grounding. Remember, you should ground before and after every reading. Those beautiful roots growing out of the bottom of your feet, just keeping yourself nice and safe and secure. So this insecurity that you're feeling right now has a lot to do with the intensity of what's going on astrologically. So what I would invite you to do, those of you that are having these feelings of not being on the right path, go into meditation. Allow your own intuitive ability, and each and every one of you have it very strongly. Allow your own intuitive ability to reassure you and to give you the answers that you're looking for, because it'll really help you. But when you first embark on this metaphysical path, this uncertainty that you're describing is very normal. So hopefully that'll reassure those of you that are asking for some questions about being on the right path. So Monica wants to know, I'm certified. Yes, I am certified in so many venues. I've done the CACR and also the Angel Intuitive. Would you recommend any other course to add to my resume? I personally feel one of the things that happened with me is my very bestest friends all became the people that were taking these classes, and then we were privileged to actually work together and assist other people becoming angel therapy practitioners. And I used to do a lot of the one-day events with Doreen when she did the I Can Do It's and things. I really feel how many certificates you get is really a personal preference. Personally, like I said, I have all of those, but I will admit there were times that, hey, who didn't want to go to Laguna or some of the places that these classes were being offered? And I am a certificate person. I could flip my thing and show you some of the certificates I have on the wall. Reiki Master, Reconnective Level 3 Healer. But one of the things that I have found is that sometimes what happens is you can get caught up in these certifications and you're not getting out doing the work. So I would say again, and that's going to be the predominant theme of this little Q&A, use your own intuitive ability to discern what you need and what you don't need. Now, for instance, I am certified in mediumship. That being said, it's not something that I use a lot. Every once in a while, and it was interesting because in my new moon broadcast, the Hello from Heaven card came up a couple times, and I knew that these people were definitely getting a little hello from their deceased loved ones, and it will come up as a reading for me. But usually if I have somebody that's looking for a mediumship reading, I refer them out, because I feel that there's people that are really, for lack of a better word, better at it than I am, and I will refer them out. So I would say, Monica, if you feel that's enough for you and you're ready to go out, go for it. It's not something that you need a ton of certificates to do the work. So, and I want to thank everybody for joining me. So many Rhodes, hello from Orlando. I was just in Orlando in Harry Potter World. Okay. Tanya from Dublin. Hello, Tanya. Thank you so much. Mary Chris. Geraldine, can you say exactly what it means, please? Okay, you know what, Geraldine? I know you're looking for something very specific, and really, truth be told, if this question would have been posted under, I could have researched it thoroughly for you. I am just going here with my own basic knowledge of it. What I will do, Geraldine, is I will check it out for you, and you know what? I'm going to make sure I remember your name. I will check it out for you, and I will get you an answer. So I'll either message you or I'll put it under the comments for these questions, but I can't be more specific than I am being, because I don't know exactly what it is that this whole thing pertains to. So I'll get your answer for you, Geraldine. Hey, Robert. Hello. It's so nice to have you here. And here's Michelle. I feel a little overwhelmed with bringing my business to Facebook. Since I brought on a new logo, I'm getting more notice than I expected. Well, Michelle, I would think that that's one of those things that falls under being a good problem. Again, anything like this that we're doing, any of these ways that you are moving forward and getting yourself out there, this is such a time right now, and again, with the energies on the planet, that really so many light workers are being catapulted, and I'm going to use that word, into what it is they're supposed to be doing in this lifetime. So what my feeling around this is, Michelle, is you did exactly what you were guided to do, and this really new logo that you have developed is like a magnet, and it's drawing people in. So be in gratitude, and again, have one of those affirmations in place that reassures you that I can do this. Give yourself a good pep talk in front of the mirror. Tell yourself how fabulous you are. Again, we've got all this Taurus energy around us, and remind yourself of that. And then again, just have a really good relationship with Archangel Michael, and anytime you feel a little bit, nervous about it, remember what Doreen always said: when you get nervous, focus on service. So I don't want to take more people than you're comfortable doing, because you always want to make sure that you're not overextending yourself, but I would say that's a great thing, and I think your logo must have been spot on, and that is why you're drawing in more business. So kudos to you. That sounds really good. Okay, do you recommend a specific video maker / editor for creating YouTube videos for our businesses? Again, Angel, I'm going to say that is definitely up to you. Now, in my opinion, it's very user-friendly. It's all dependent on how comfortable you are in front of the camera. Now, right now, as I'm doing this, I'm uploading my YouTube video, my Facebook Live video that I just did on the new moon energy. I am uploading that onto YouTube. I learned how to change my Facebook Live into YouTube videos online. I've watched a couple of YouTube videos which told me exactly how to do it, and it's relatively easy. Now, when I did a video for my book, Hay House wanted me to do a video, and I believe it's still on my YouTube station. I did hire somebody to do a video, and the gentleman came to the house. I walked around the house, and again, I worked it out with him because it wasn't his full-time job, so the price was affordable. So again, talking about getting into a barter situation, talking about working with somebody that's new, just trying to get their business started. It's all up to you. If you want one really good professional video that you want to put up on your YouTube to just introduce yourself, I would say, especially if you're inexperienced, it wouldn't be a bad idea at all to get somebody to professionally do it. And I know you can find somebody affordable in your area. Once you're doing that and you get comfortable doing, maybe some of your own live things, because you can also do things like this right directly on YouTube. I was doing it for a while with a new age store that I was working with, and they use Google Hangout, and you create a live event, and that too is relatively easy. But I feel like if you're going to do it, you might as well do Facebook Live, because you'll have more exposure. Instagram as well, now you can do live. So I would say if you want one that's done really well to totally promote yourself, yes, get something professionally done, but make sure you look and get the best price you possibly can. There's always people out there that are just looking to practice, to get their work out, to get their name out. There's always people. And remember, new moon energy, set the intention that this right person will come in and it will happen. Okay, so let's see. And as far as recommending a specific one, no. You know, there wouldn't be anybody. Again, even like for websites, I really feel that it's such an individual thing of you working with somebody that I think what you really have to do is you have to be your own judge as to who's going to work best for you. So, Angel, thank you for the question. Also, I could see if you register for a longer period than appears. Okay, Geraldine, if you registered your domain name for a longer period of time, yes. What happens is the longer you register your name for, this I do know, the cheaper it is. And what you want to do, especially if you're using your own name, and say you have, I believe your last name is GeraldineHeal.com. What you want to do is put it on auto renewal so you don't have the problem of forgetting to renew it and then losing your name. And the reason you want to do this, it protects you, because just in case, you know, somebody looks at your name and thinks, wow, this woman is going to be a New York Times bestseller, they will actually register your name and then you have to buy it back from them. And I've heard of that happening. So that's why you want to focus on keeping your name. And yes, unless it's a name, like I had a whole bunch, like when I decided to call my blog Susanisms, I registered Susanisms.com, .net and all that. Now, I think just recently, I think I let it go. You know, I don't think I have it anymore. So you'll decide which ones that are really going to be beneficial. But yes, most of the places that you register with, like GoDaddy, for example, the longer you do it, the cheaper it is. So that's a yes. And again, it's all up to you how long you think you're going to keep that website, if it's worth it to spend the money. Okay. Hello to Gabby from Texas, Debbie from British Columbia. Okay, Carol is asking, what's the best way to start? Which course? Doreen Virtues, is there another? I think, Carol, this again is a personal preference thing. I personally feel that it's all up to what resonates with you. And you know, if you're on the CACR page right now and you get a feel of the energy and of the people, and it really does help you decide as to how you want to proceed. What I find in this work is that most of the time people really have a good feel of what to do, how to do, even before they take any certification programs. They're either led to do like an Angel Intuitive or a CACR class. And then what happens is they take the class and they get the experience that gives them the confidence. So if this is something that you're drawn to, I would say just kind of hang around, come to the page in CACR, see if, you know, it resonates with you. Because I have taken all of my courses with Doreen, except obviously Reiki, I'm not really one to say whether there's other courses out there that would be, you know, as good, beneficial. So I can't make recommendations because these are the only courses that I've taken. So I would just say that, you know, you again have to be your own judge with this. And no, you've got it. Like I say, we're all intuitive. So use that to make these decisions. Okay, Linda, hello. Dawn, hi. Leanne, hello. Who is this? Okay, Linda. I'm still getting some reading questions, and I just want to remind everybody I am not doing readings. Thank you, Monica. Yeah, again, like I said. All right. Also, I want to understand the difference. Okay. And what I'm going to do, Geraldine, is I'm going to get you more information on all of this, because what you're looking for is very technical information. And again, as I said, I don't want to give you misinformation by any stretch of the imagination. So I am going to look all of this up for you and get it to you. That's a promise. Okay. Linda Allison, hi from Santa Cruz. Okay, and Monica's saying that she's loving everything that she's learned. Yeah, Geraldine is giving Robert, another friend of mine, a big shout out. And again, this is one of the things Doreen has always taught. There's enough out there for everybody. So again, there's a ton of teachers out there. There's a ton of work to be done. So it really is so much about what you enjoy and what you prefer. I think just about all of the spiritual teachers have some type of a certification program. I know for me it was at an I Can Do It in Las Vegas, if you can believe that, and that was many moons ago. The entire time I was there, it was so synchronistic. I just from beginning to end. And it was like, I went there very last minute. I wanted to take Doreen's 1 day intensive prior to the I Can Do It. It was totally sold out. So I'm standing there and I was just looking at a few other things, and this person came up to me and said, I just heard you wanted to get into Doreen Virtue's class. Would you like to buy my ticket? And wow, the rest is history. I bought her ticket. I listened to Doreen, and that was it. Everything that she said just really resonated with me. And I was doing a little bit of angel work on my own, working out of a New Age Center, because angels had always intrigued me. So I was starting to do it, but I really wanted that intense experience. And what was interesting, in the same one, I actually saw Eric Pearl speak. And very different types of modalities, but again, reconnective healing really resonated with me. So I went on and I did that as well. Now, again, I have found that this working with the angels and things, has been more my cup of tea. But again, I really felt that, and I've done some healing work with his reconnective healing. So again, and Robert, I know, teaches wonderful classes with flower therapy. I have his trusty book right here all the time, and I use it. So again, whatever really, maybe you're somebody that loves flowers and that really works with you. We've got some good suggestions coming in. Cindy asks a great question. When you're just starting out, do you believe it's better to create a Facebook fan page and focus on that, or start by creating a website? What I would say, the big thing I would say, Cindy, about Facebook is that it's affordable and that it's free. So you can get yourself up on Facebook in, a few minutes and start promoting yourself. A website's going to take some work and some expense. I know that there has been talk that Facebook will actually have more significance in marketing than websites. And I was really vacillating back and forth as I made my latest investment in my website and the improvements. But I don't know. I'm not totally sold on that. So what I feel is that doing a Facebook fan page first get you out there. And that's the most important thing, is getting you out there. Closely followed by getting that, I would say, get a web page up. Even if you do something very simple and put a little, logo of some kind that says under construction, get your name registered, decide on your, the name of your website, get that registered, and then you can come back to it. But the beauty of Facebook is that it's cheap. And that it's free. So you can get yourself up there and start promoting yourself without spending money. So, okay. Okay, Geraldine, thank you. All right, Tracy. Hello, Vera from London. Erica. Okay, and one more time, I'm not doing readings, but I'm welcoming everybody. Sherry. Hello from Clearwater. I know I finally had to shut all my doors here and turn on that whole air conditioning. Okay, wow, we've got Elijah. Oh, I hope I don't mispronounce that. Manahiria from New Zealand. Wow, this is so cool. Just feel the energy. This is what I mean about really sensing where you belong and what is it that you want to do. We have people from all over the world that have come together. Here's somebody else, June from South Florida, Fiona from Australia. Okay, Homily Tree. Okay, so this is a great question. I am a CACR, but I feel like I am lousy at it. How can I gain confidence and feel better about what I'm doing? Homily, I will just tell you that it is something that is just very common. the only thing that really builds us up confidence-wise is experience and our own self-pep talks, like I was speaking of earlier. When I was first beginning my readings, I did them out of my home around my little kitchen table, and I would have people come to the house, and I will never forget the time that there was this woman that came in, and I might have shared this story before, but it bears repeating. This woman came in, and I'm pulling the cards and doing the reading, and it's going great, and we get to the end of the reading, and she was very, satisfied with it, and all during the reading, I kept on getting a feeling that I should say something about her kids, but I looked at her, and she looked too young to have kids. Well, the reading gets done, and she says, well, thank you very much, Susan, but I was really hoping you would bring up my kids. Now, at that time, I could have said, well, I was going to say something, but I knew she wouldn't believe it. So we all have those questions of faith. The thing is, I really believe that you feel you're not good at it because of lack of experience. The more you do it, and the more you get validation that the information that you're giving is accurate, the more confidence that you will have in yourself. And the one thing that I always remind myself, because there are times I get nervous as well when I'm doing these readings, I always remind myself that I am not the one that's doing the readings. I am just the channel for whatever higher power is trying to get through to my client. So be it their spirit guides, be it the angels, be it a deceased loved one, I am just giving them the information that I am given. This isn't about me. It's like, get out of your way, get out of my way. Let me get this information out to them. That is the best way for you to really start building confidence. So I would say the more you do, the better you're going to get at it. And Homily, I totally disagree. You're not good at this. So you're being called to do this. It's something that you can do. The more you do it, the more confidence. And you know what? Transcribe a little speech. Again, I'm going to go back to this new moon energy, setting an intention. Transcribe a little pep talk. Call whatever angel you like to work with, and just take a nice eye-to-eye contact with yourself in the mirror and give yourself a little pep talk about how fabulous you are. Set your intention, and even though you might have to fake it till you make it, you'll begin to believe it. Building confidence with anything that we're new at is a process. So just give yourself permission to take the process one step at a time, and whenever you feel that naysaying coming in, you have, I am a powerful light worker. I am powerfully clairvoyant. Anytime you hear that, have an affirmation in place that you just zip in there and you just thwart whatever things might be coming up that tell you anything other than you're perfect just the way you are and you're a terrific CACR. So thanks for the question. Yeah, Monica is saying that she uses her computer's webcam and she uses YouTube daily readings. And again, it's like for me doing this, how I got the experience was on YouTube because I was working out of a New Age store and I started doing it that way. And as I said in the beginning, it's disconcerting, to see yourself doing some of these things. But when you're driven and you really want to reach people and you want to make a difference, it really is just such a valuable tool to do that. Again, it's not for everybody. And that might not be something that, you're drawn to do. So is it necessary for you to have a YouTube station or do videos? No. I think that if you want one video to really represent you, to put up on your website, like I did the professional one for my book, then I would highly suggest you get somebody professional that's cost effective and have one nice one nice video. And I believe you can, I know you can put them on your Facebook page as well. Okay, so let's see. All righty. So let's see who else we have here. Hello to Wendy. Hello to Zareta from Brooklyn. My daughter just moved to Brooklyn not too long ago. Maria. Again, don't feel I'm ignoring you with your reading requests. I'm not doing readings. Deanna, Mary, Gertie. Hello, hello. Shimona. Oh my gosh, hello from Singapore. Oh, you guys got to tune into my radio show for all of these, reading requests. Nicole, hi, Joyce, Gabby. Okay, Gabby, great question. I recently had a reading with a client, a love reading. I did the reading, but she wasn't satisfied with the outcome. She asked me to reshuffle, but still same outcome. Then she asked me to reshuffle again. I said no. What would be the best answer to this kind of client? Okay, yeah, wow. You know what you're going to find with romance readings is that people have a very definitive idea of what they want you to say, especially if you're involved with somebody it's either an early breakup. I'm going to use an early breakup as an example. And what will happen is you will have a client come in and they'll want to know if they're going to get back together with somebody. Now, the breakup is new and all they want you to do is tell them that yes, they are going to get back together. And you're pulling the cards and the cards just aren't saying that. When it's a romance reading and something like that comes up, I just always stipulate that readings are always as accurate as they can be at that moment, but no readings are 100% accurate. So when you have a client that is dissatisfied like that, and again, remember, we're talking about trust. We're certainly not going to make up anything, but we want our clients to be satisfied, so they're going to recommend us. So when I run into situations like this, and I have where, the cards are saying, listen, you're never going to see this guy or girl again, and it's the last thing they want to hear, I always say something can shift like that. This person's vibration can change and now you're going to be compatible. Again, looking at the energy right now, this is what I am seeing and this is what the cards are saying, but there's always room for change. Things can always shift because, again, we know this is not a perfect science. No psychic out there is right 100% of the time because of the whole free will thing. So this relationship right at this moment could have no possibility. This is what the cards are telling you. That being said, something could happen the next day that all of a sudden the bolt of lightning and this gentleman realizes that he can't live without her and everything changes. So that's what, I think that you are fully in your right to say it's not going to make any difference if you reshuffle the cards. This is what they're saying. Obviously, she knew what she wanted to hear and you weren't saying that to her. You handled yourself well, but what I would suggest when you're in this situation is find a way to be diplomatic about it. Because again, without saying, well, I'm not right all the time, we don't want to be that as far as, discouraging to who we are in our profession. But again, it's always, because I've had that and people, well, I don't agree. Well, this is what I'm seeing now. Things can always change. Because one of the big questions I was getting quite a bit, I haven't gotten it in a while, I was just running into this whole idea where people were coming saying, should I leave my husband? Should I leave my significant other? And I always feel that if people are asking that question, they're not ready to do it. So what I'll usually do is work, and it's very interesting because in those readings, more times than not, it was about them and not about the other person. And if they have to ask that question, they're not ready to do it yet. And it usually, what I found was it had something to do with them that they had to change. They were looking for somebody to complete them. I absolutely hate that line from that movie. And their significant other wasn't filling the bill. So what I would do is I would just talk to them and find out and give them a little prescription. I used to do that. I used to have, a little prescription that I would say, okay, here's your little angel's prescription, and give them some ideas. Then what I would find is either the relationship would work because now they were in more of a balance, or she wouldn't have to, or he wouldn't have to ask me the question anymore because he had evolved to a point that he realized they weren't going to work. So that's just some of the things I've learned. So that is a great question. And again, we run into all of these challenges in our readings. Okay, so let's see. So Laura, hello, Laura. Hello, Lisa. Manitoba, hello. Janice, Tina from Ontario. Elsa, Oh, India Ruchi. I'm sure I'm butchering these names. I so apologize if I'm mispronouncing them with my strong Buffalo accent here, my Western New York. Candace, Linda. Yeah, it's funny. Geraldine is mentioning that Doreen's having a birthday discount. So you listen out for that. Yeah, Doreen's birthday is the day before mine, actually. We're Taurus sisters because hers is the 29th and mine is the 30th. Okay, let me say, okay, Sabrina, thank you. I'm glad you're liking these and appreciating these. Hello, Rosie from New Mexico. Alicia from Fiji. Okay, Carol's just saying she just doesn't know where to start. And again, like I said, I think that the more you tune into these, and again, coming into the chat room like you're in the chat room right now, the more that you get with these like-minded people, you'll really find that it really does amp you. You know, even though we're from all over the world and everybody is coming together in a scrolling kind of chat, there's energy there, and we're coming together for a positive impact. So don't ever feel that just because you feel your readings aren't the most accurate or you're not coming at this from, you know, an easy breezy way, that coming together with these people, something as simple as this really does assist you in just really getting yourself to where you want to be in this work. Because this is unlike any other work. Most of you, I'm sure, have done this in past lives. Many of you may have been persecuted because you did it in past lives. That being the case, this could be the cause of some of your reluctance as well. Hearing those, you know, different things that were said to you. And some of you that have had these abilities since you were children have been dealing with the bullying and the ridicule that you've suppressed these talents. So just know, all of this is a process, and you've got all the time in the world. And that's, again, this new moon in Taurus is reminding us to let it go, wait for the right timing. Okay, let's see. So we got Wendy, hi. Denise from Alaska. Deanna. Okay. So Geraldine, yeah, so good. She's letting us know all about the discounts and everything. Thank you, Geraldine. I loved Romper Room. Oh my gosh, I can't believe so many of you out there remember that. Captain Kangaroo, that was another big one. Okay, so that's Lori, Tina, okay, Beth, okay, I think that we're, okay, here we go. I'm just gonna kind of check the time here. Okay, we got a few more minutes. Okay, how well do reading at bookstores work? And this is a question from Joy. Joy, you know, I think that if you've got a new age store that is willing to work with you, usually the way it will work is you approach somebody, and it could be at a bookstore as well, one of the smaller bookstores. You'd be surprised at how many people are open to it. So I would say if you've got a small independently owned bookstore in your area and you think they might be open to it, I say go for it. I've actually in Buffalo been invited to do it at some like gift stores. It really does work well. You again, and I don't know if you didn't watch the video about angel parties, you might want to look at that again on my YouTube station, but it works very much the same way as doing a angel party. You make all the rules. Most of the time it's a 60-40 split, so what will happen is that you will get 60% and the store owner will get 40%, and that can vary. You can, you know, what I usually would do when I was going into that is I'd find out what the other readers were doing. If you're the only reader, you're going to kind of have to canvass your area and see what the going rate is for a reading, especially if you're new and you're trying to get your name out there. Then you want to make sure that you're affordable and you're in line. You want to make sure they provide some place that's private and that you can just be secure with your client. And you know, again, you can smudge and bring some little crystals, whatever you like to make the space sacred. And I think it's great. You know, it's really a good way. And many people that I know, there's a lot of people that I know that still do it, that have been in this business for quite a while, and they've got a standing gig, so to speak, at a certain store, and they'll go and they'll do it, and it works out great for them. And if, you know, what'll happen is that's a great way to build your business. One thing after another. Great way to have your business come up. And I didn't put my, that's my text message, didn't put my phone on airplane. I usually remember that. So I have that whole Sherwood call there when my text messages are coming in. But so yeah, I think working out of a store is a great way, especially if you enjoy doing in-person readings. Now, as I said earlier, I did do readings out of my home for a while. And again, I used my own intuitiveness to know, you know, if it was a good idea. And I was cautious, you know. There were some times when I just would get vibes and I wouldn't do it, but I wasn't really crazy about doing it out of my home. I preferred to go someplace. So I would say certainly if it's something you would like to, you know, look into doing it out of the home, but I personally feel that you're better off finding a place to do it. And remember, your phone, your email readings, those are all viable ways to get your work out there. Hello, Juliana. So nice. Thank you, Joy. That's a great question. Okay, Beth is saying she feels like her readings are too short. You know, it's interesting because I was working for a while on a psychic website. One of the ones that I feel was really had a very good reputation and everything. And I will tell you that because I was being paid by the minute, I really was able to get my readings out really fast. What happened then, once I stopped working on that website, is now I'm doing, you know, phone readings. I was working out of a store for a while, and I found that, oh my gosh, you know, I'm doing 15, 30-minute readings, and I was done in 5 because I was so used to going fast. Watch how quickly you're talking, and sometimes when you channel, you really will start talking quickly. Pause, make sure you're always checking in with your client and asking your client, okay, sorry about that, asking your client if it resonates with them. Do they have any questions? When you feel like, obviously if somebody's paying for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, they're going to expect that time. So you're going to have to find a way. And that's what I really do. Just take the time, make sure the people understand the cards. Do they see anything in the cards that might resonate with them that you haven't brought up? But most of the time what I find when the readings are going quickly like that is that you're channeling the information so quickly that you're talking fast, it's coming through quickly. So just slow yourself down, slow your pace down. And maybe until you're more comfortable with that, don't do anything longer than, say, 15-minute readings. I know some people that can do really accurate 10-minute readings quickly. Like I said, when I was on that website, I would be doing my readings. I'd get them done in 10 minutes. So, but the thing is, if somebody's paying for more time, they're going to expect the right amount of time for whatever they're paying for. So that would be, just make sure you're going slow, constantly check in with your client, and you're probably giving them just the amount of information they need, Beth. So again, don't beat yourself up. It sounds like you're doing great. Yes, and Angel's saying just continue to practice and open yourself up, and that is such good advice. Okay, I feel like the reading for each card is so... Okay, Beth, you know what? That's a good point. Basically, see, I rarely read the cards when I'm doing my readings. When I do my readings, first of all, I do it a little bit differently. I face the cards to my client, and it's always the way I've done it prior to taking any training. I like the clients to see the cards because what I find is that all of a sudden they'll say, oh my gosh, I can't believe there's a dove in the card. My mother always comes through to me in a dove, you know, and they will get information like that. So I don't generally read the cards. What you really want to do is familiarize yourself with the decks, and remember that on each deck, on each card, there's a multitude of information. So it's not only the words, it's the colors, it's who's in the picture. And again, look for the subtleties. The butterflies representing transformation, the doves representing peace. Maybe there's a musical instrument instrument. Some of the cards are numbered. And sometimes what I'll do is have my angel number book handy. Most of them now I can pretty much figure out because I've worked with them for so long, but you can definitely do that as well. Focus on the number. Does this number have any significance to the person? Often they'll say, oh my gosh, 17, it's my favorite number. And see, so that's coming up. And when that happens, what it's doing for your client is validating the information that you're getting. So again, when you're new, you look at the cards, you just go to the cards and you read the information on the card, go from there. But just keep in mind that there is so much information on one card that is more than the words. Because sometimes you're going to pull a card like pregnancy and the woman is 75 years old, which makes no sense at all. So you have to learn that pregnancy can also represent a new idea, a rebirth. There's all these different significance that you can pull out of one card. So keep that in mind. Just don't, again, and believe me, Beth, this all comes, the more you do it, the more this will, be second nature to you. And it's all a learning process. And I know in the last episode I did, I was scrolling through some of the questions and somebody said, well, what if you don't want to use cards? That is definitely up to you. I know there's many intuitives out there that don't use cards. So again, we're very focused. What I do with my readings is when I first begin the reading, I tell the person everything I've gotten because usually I'm in their energy maybe 15 minutes before the reading. I'll start downloading information for them before they ask any questions. And the reason I like to do that is because then, like, if they ask a question and then I answer it, it's almost like, okay, well, I asked it or whatever. I like to tell them what I'm getting first because then it's like, oh my gosh, she knew that I wanted to know this. She knew this was important. So I do that and I just explain to the client, it's the way I work. I want to give them the information first. And then I say, now do you have any questions? Any specific questions? And I do it like that. Again, when I was working on the psychic hotline, I did not use cards because it was too fast. When I'm doing my reading, like I just told you about, most of the time what I'll find is as I'm pulling these cards, it will validate what I told them right from the beginning. So again, if you're representing yourself as an intuitive and you haven't mentioned cards to your client, that's a personal thing as to what it is that you feel will give your client the best. Okay. Okay, so Ruchi says, and again, please, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name. I work very well with face-to-face readings, but I have been trying Facebook Live and I get nervous and land up giving less information. I'm assuming you're talking about doing a Facebook Live reading. Or are you talking about doing a reading with Facebook Live? I don't know if you could do that. Maybe that is something you could do. I think going on video is daunting. And I think getting nervous and going on video, if you're talking about maybe doing pulls, I think, again, that's something that comes with practice. So give yourself permission to be a little bit nervous. And, the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get. I know that I do video readings and I enjoy doing them so that my clients can see the cards, but again, I do phone readings, email readings as well. So it's one of those things, I think, when you're physically looking at somebody or physically being taped, I think being nervous is totally understandable. So again, just give yourself permission. The more you do it, the better you'll get, and you'll find that you're not nervous anymore. So thanks for the question. I'm going to just see. Okay, so we've got 2 minutes here. And let me see before we end up. Yeah, I know, Beth. See, really, Beth is saying that she feels forced to say more and more for each card. Beth, what I would say then, based on what kind of readings you're doing, is I would just do short readings. I would do 10 to 15 minute readings, price them accordingly until you feel that you have more to say. In my opinion, you are getting your client exactly what they need to know. Remember what I said before, it's about getting out of your own way. So again, I think this should be relaxed. And you know, you're an intuitive. You know if you're giving them all the information they need. Then if they're paying for 30 minutes and you're finding you can only give 15, then what I would suggest is just pricing yourself at that point. Okay, so yeah, and thank you so much, but I get nervous. Like I said, I think that's totally understandable that you get nervous doing that, and I think it's just, again, something that comes with practice. I know not too long ago I was doing a radio show, and I was doing readings for people on the radio, and for some reason, and I really do feel badly about this, there was somebody that had gotten a reading and has not been able to access the radio show, and we've tried everything, and I have really, you know, she said, well, can't you get me the reading? I never listened to my radio show, and it's not anything that, you know, that I don't like my voice or whatever, but I really feel that so much of my radio show is channeled, and I feel like once I get done with it, it's done. I don't remember the readings. I rarely remember, unless it's somebody I've read a lot, I rarely remember any of my readings because, again, I don't feel it's me reading the person. So the more you do it, and again, if you find yourself watching your videos and you're critical, then I would say don't watch your videos. You know, getting nervous is very normal when you're doing this type of work. So as Doreen says, when you get nervous, focus on service. But I will tell you, and I'm going to let you go, at the last AI, and we were in, I'm not sure if it was in California or Laguna, but it wasn't Laguna. It was either in California or Hawaii, rather. And now every time we get done with these, she brings us up on stage after we've had our little training with everybody. Doreen brings us up on stage and she has us tell everybody a little bit about ourselves, right? Now, I've been doing this for quite a while. My gosh, I started in 2004 and pretty much started staffing since then. So I had been doing that. Well, for some reason, I was so nervous. Now I'm standing up on stage, right? Now I'm holding the microphone and all of a sudden I look down and now here, can't see my hands, here the microphone is shaking. Now I begin and I'm not too bad. Then I look down and I see this microphone shaking, and the more it's shaking, the more nervous I'm getting. And oh my gosh, I finally, like, the audience loved it, but I was humiliated because I couldn't believe after all the time that I have done this, I'm up there trying to promote my children's book, my CD, my Hay House book, and here I'm like this. So it's just as normal. And whenever we're doing public speaking, doing anything like that, it is normal. It's not something that comes supernaturally. So give yourself permission. It's a big deal to put yourself out there and do these readings. So just know that that you're doing exactly what you're meant to do, and the more you do it, the easier it will get. Well, thank you so much. I am going to end here because it's been an hour. I had this special edition because I wanted to get us caught up. All of the CACR episodes thus far are on my YouTube station, which is Susan Dentino, along with my New Moon broadcast. So if you missed this past one that I just did an hour ago, it will be up there. As a matter of fact, it was just downloading. I am not exactly sure when I will be back on the CACR page, and it's only because I'm doing some traveling. So I wanted to make sure I got you in this week. Saturdays at 12 noon Eastern are my time, and that's the time I like to do as much as I possibly can. But I am going to be traveling, so I know for the next 2 Saturdays I will not be on. So probably that third Saturday I will, and if not, I will definitely make sure that I get in a special episode just like I did now. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was such a pleasure being with all of you. You made my heart happy. So thank you so much. And just a reminder, I'm Susan Dentino, aka Coach Susan. Please visit my website, visit my fan page. You know, we're all trying to get likes, and I appreciate it. I'm happy to do readings for you. I feel I'm pretty affordable, so just check out my website and my services page. And I wish each and every one of you the most blessed journey. Know you're exactly where you're meant to be. You're perfect the way you are right now. This Taurus energy is knowing that you don't need to change. It's knowing that you're perfect just the way you are. Good night now, and we'll see each other again soon.